Hello, hello. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Wings to Fly ASMR. I'm. Ow, that was hot. Trying to not oversteep the dandelion. Ouch. Tea, dandelion root tea, as I have established, it gets nasty. Well, not nasty. I wouldn't say that it was nasty. It just gets a little something. Okay. Today. I don't think that's a song. One sec, I gotta get out my stuffs. I gotta get my stuff. Hi! I'm getting my stuffs. Nope, that's not where the stuffs are, apparently. Where are my things? Oh, they're over there. Well, that's fine. One second. I'm gonna get scissors. I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work, but it is okay. Because we are just going to have a little bit of fun and proceed. Because here's the thing. I love these bracelets. I don't, however, love these beads. Because they cut on apparently what are my very hairy little arms. They're constantly like, oh, that's a hair. Oh, that's a hair. Oh, ouch. So I'm going to take these two. These two are two beautiful bracelets that I love. Well, this one has seen a little bit of rough wear. It's okay. But anyway, this one's a better example. That's why I'm probably not going to. This one I like over anyway. If there was a moment where it got caught. Anyway, this is a beautiful bracelet from Braced and Bougie, who is a delightful bracelet maker that you can find on Instagram, on the gram. And so this one, but as you can see, it like got caught on a couple. I can't remember. It might have been the. I want to say that I wore it to Ren Fair, and it got a little messed up, but I don't really remember. Anyway, I wore it out in the about, and the little string of it got a little bit funky. As you can see, I had to retie multiple times. So I was thinking I'd use the beads, because I'm sure I can keep wearing it, but I figured I'd use the beads to try and make a bracelet with these beads. So I got these two bracelets off Amazon, this cute little seller doing all kinds of like, yes, sort of jewelry. And so I love these. I wanted to get them, right? But yeah, apparently I have some sensory issues when it comes to. I'm not really used to these. They're like cute little bead things. I'm gonna put them in my little trinkets bag for going to Ren Fairs, such as I just mentioned. And I think they'll be. Don't fly. Okay, they didn't fly, but they rolled. But this didn't roll everywhere. That was what I was hoping they wouldn't roll everywhere. But I said don't fly everywhere. So, if they had been confused, that would have been on me. Anywho, yeah, this was definitely not a construction ship problem. This was a wearer problem. I'm not bad. I'm not so boo. I can't remember what I caught it on. And then, I tried to fix it, but I accidentally kind of shredded some of it. So then these, nobody get their feelings hurt that I'm, modifying the bracelet, the jewelry you made. But, I mean, obviously you can. I'm not telling you what to feel. But I don't want anybody to feel sad that I'm modifying the jewelries, because the jewelry is awesome. It's just I never thought that I was particularly hairy, but it would seem that I'm somewhat hairy. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. Wow, that exploded. See, that's the thing. All these cool people running about, making lovely. Oh, and there was the thing. Oh, that's a way to find it, maybe. I'm not really used to working with this sort of. So I get, okay, so there's two. Well, that's interesting to know. See, aren't these cool little trinkets? They're so cute, like these little beads. I'm gonna put them in a little. No, it fell. It rolled away. Oh, where did it go? I thought it went into my lap, but now it's not in my lap. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I want to use those as cute little tiny tokens. Okay, so I could probably find where the knot is here if I'm just trying to play around. My beautiful boo is, there it is. My beautiful boo is sleeping in the other room. So naturally, I'm going to be quiet. And then I proceed to go start filming something. But he has told me that it does not wake him up, because I've double checked with him, and I have also like, because it was one of those where I was like, is he telling me the truth? Because obviously, I'm not doubting that he's telling me the truth, but I am wondering if he's trying to spare my feelings. Like sometimes that happens, you know. As a chronic people pleaser, or someone, let me rephrase this, as someone who's trying to recover from chronic toxic people pleasing, sometimes, ooh, that could go in the middle. Sometimes you maybe struggle a little bit with, is not that your line, and I will stand on this hill. It is, however, that you're not really used to interpreting the world from a point of view where you are particularly considered, and so you, I can spell sometimes, and so because you want it to be a certain way, your brain kind of like decides, oh, that must be the way it is. Meanwhile, not necessarily. Should I put this in there? No, I think I just like this. Oh, but then that could slide and not separate it. Do I want it separated? I don't know. You saw how it was originally, which means it doesn't have to be that way. See, because now here's the golden question, folks. How the blippity blip 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 do I like do this? Like, how do people who do these bracelets do these bracelets? How does one do this? Because I feel like I'm about to do this in a way that's gonna be, is this recording? I mean, it's not like if it isn't, much will be lost to anything, but if I'm talking to myself, I want to know that I'm talking to myself. You know what? If you knew what I mean. Because they had the 2, so that makes me think that maybe you need 2. Well, this one's longer. So you just kind of, okay. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go incredibly well. I'm telling you right now. Okay. I'm now stumped because I see these little splitting ends, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to be easy to thread through. And behold, and lo and behold, it was not. What about? Yeah, and lo and behold, that. So I've just broken my bracelets that I love. Okay, that's not actually cool. That was not what I wanted to occur. That is distressing. Well, it's more annoying than, well, no, it's kind of distressing because, like, I mean, it's not like I'm all like, no, but I am sad. Oh no, I think I broke this bead. Well, you can now go in the trinket pile. So, do I have any jewelry making supplies that would? I have. Hear me out. Would it work to string these? No, it would not. Well, I won't. Why not try? Why not try, folks? Let's see if this works. Yeah, this is just an absolute. Oh, I was about to be like, what's it from? And then I was like, oh, it's not from anything. I was about to be like, experimentation, which is not what Megamind says. He says presentation. Okay, let's see. Because if we did this, then it'd have to be one of those bracelets that has the little thing, which isn't necessarily my favorite kind of bracelet, like our charm bracelets have. I really do like elasticy bracelets. But that, then now I just don't know, how do people making these stretchy elastic bracelets do this? Like, every time that you're like, oh, I'm going to look into this new little, for me, new art approach, it's like, wow, that's way more complicated. Yep, that is not fitting at all. In case any of you are wondering, as many of you could have probably predicted, that is not. Wait, that does? Interesting. Okay, so now let's experiment and be like, hey, remember that time that we tried this and it totally didn't work? Are we sure there's no way of it working? Because that would be so, like, snazzy and convenient, and lo and behold, it did not, in fact, work. Well, that is a little annoying. So, what other... Ooh, is this thinner? That's not thinner, that's like the exact same thing. Oh, I don't know if my head just got mashed up. That would be sad. I'm looking through my random little jewelry supplies. Well, that's... I want my Love Wins bracelet. Does it have to be double? That's probably why it's sturdy. Well, this is... Oh, bear me on, where the coyotes howl and the wind blows. Never mind. So, but I can do this. But this doesn't accomplish me much now, does it? Ah, please return. No. Please continue. So, like, I could do this, but what is the point? Oh, was it just a fluke that it went through that one? It is not going through this one. It would seem to have been a fluke. It is not fitting through here. Okay, am I insane, or did it... No, I thought it fit through here. I thought I picked this up, and I thought I dropped it through, and I was like, oh, it does. Well, It's almost like not everything on the planet is perfectly identical. It's almost like most things have some tiny little error of, or margin of individuality of some kind. Do you fit at all? Nope, that does not seem to work. Well, this is so far a bit of a bust, because I don't have a means to make this not a bust. Like, I don't... Is there a way of doing this? Once upon a time, we started a video and proceeded. So this then, yeah, this does beg the question. How then is this done? It must, I'm assuming that there's some sort of machine or whatever that like holds these kind of stretched taut, right? Would that make sense? And then there's like, what if we... Ooh, we're trying to be a lefty over here. That's maybe not gonna end well. It didn't end too badly. Okay. So like, yeah, I just legitimately have to wonder how... Ooh, that happened. We got it through. But then how do you do the double thirds? Is there like a machine? This is what I have to wonder. If there's a machine where like, you can have the double of it stretched, because I'm just going to assume that having it single is not quite sufficient. It seems kind of strong and hardy, as long as you're not like catching it. Was it on the car door? I'm really trying to remember how I busted that one bracelet that the clear beads came from, because I don't actually recall. Hello, how are you all doing today? I hope you're doing all right. This is, as you can see clearly, one of the bit more body doubling videos, because I've been really wanting to fix this, to switch out the beads. It's not fixing it, because it was not broken. It was beautiful, and I loved it. Meanwhile, ooh, I have an idea. You have an idea. A dangerous pastime? I know. Those are like, definitely mixing movie quotes. See, that could be cute. I like where we're going with this. Yeah, I've been really wanting to change the beading on these bracelets, and then therefore just kind of turning them into one, because I was not about to go through all this for two of them, because as you can see, that would be so much more struggle than it would seem I have capacity for. I'm already struggling just making one. But I just kept kind of not doing it. And I kept just wearing the bracelets that, these lovely little beads. I love these little beads. They are charming. Look at these beautiful little beads. Just look at them. They are beautiful. They are cute. They're little circles. They're also little circles. They're so cute. But did I mention that they pinch the little hairs on the arm? Like, because just, I think because they're more matte texture than like these beads feel more gloss texture. Like printed out photographs. There's matte texture and then there's gloss texture. These beads here, the clear ones, they feel more like gloss texture, and these beads feel more like matte texture. So all I can think is that because it's the matte texture, if there's any sweat or whatever going on, and it's not like I sweat constantly, thank you, generalized anxiety disorder, it maybe it's because of the sweat, or maybe it's just because of the matte texture, I don't know, but it catches my hairs, which apparently I am hairier than I thought. Like, I mean, I knew obviously everybody has hair on there. Well, except for people who, like, shave their arms, but also, why on earth? Anyway. I mean, if that's your thing, cool. But, like, if you're feeling compelled to do it, not because you want to do it, then no. No, my friend. Let us help you out here. You do not need to do that. That is absolutely an aesthetic. And if it is anything that is aesthetic and you don't want to do it, then you should not have to do it. It does not make any sense. Okay, so this is... Well, that's... Okay. Okay, let's try adding this on chair. But now I want another one on chair, which means I'm gonna have to see how this goes. I tried kind of working with a bracelet like this before and kind of mending it, and maybe I got like about this far at one point, and then the elastic just sort of exploded. And then it exploded. And I was one of those moments where you're like, okay, and I'm done for the day. I don't know if you ever get like that, but I do, where just the cost versus worth. Okay, no, that's all right. We just have the little thing chair. Well, actually then, if I just put one more on this side, then maybe the little knot will end up, because again, I'm not being obsessive compulsive or anything, wanting to like make sure that it's the same. Okay, well that's nice. That feels comfy. What are we thinking, fam? It's kind of comfy. Do we approve? I don't know if I approve. Oh, but I only have 2 little beads left. That's just sad to not use them. Okay, let's totally, possibly wreck the progress that we've made so far because there's 2 little beads left and they might be lonely. I don't like the idea of them feeling left out. I don't like that at all. That would be sad. I hope you're drinking water. Water is important. So is eating food. Okay, guys. Moment of truth. This little knot is going to be so convenient. Ho, 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 ho. Please don't slip through my fingers. Okay. No. Okay. Ooh, this is kind of working actually. All right. Now, how do we like cement the heck out of this thing? Oh, that is definitely kind of loose. I mean, that's okay, right? It doesn't have to be like... Yeah, that fits. It says, love wins. I don't know that these were necessary. I wanted them. Does that make it acceptable? I might have to redo this bracelet at some point. Okay, but now I need to like secure this within an inch of its life. I really don't want it to break. Watch, I'm here, I'm trying to secure it, and this is where it'll be like, splatter! And all the beads go everywhere. And at that point, I will be like, well, it has been a very good morning, farewell. And I will just go back to bed. Oh, I probably won't go back to bed. Because if I could go back to bed, I would be in bed. I need something to loop this through. That's not working very well. Okay. I can do it. Drinking water is very important. So is eating food. Please drink water. Please eat food. Get some sunshine, even if it's in a bottle, and it's called vitamin D supplements. Hey, it works, peeps. We're having a little trouble getting the whole... Okay, this is not working. No, these are the moments where I'm just like, fat fingers. I think a great thing to remember for those who are working through the extremely non-linear journeys that healing journeys are. You know, there's hero's journeys and there's healing journeys, and there's a huge overlap in the Venn diagram of them. But I think something that isn't always mainstream information enough is that if you're on a healing journey, finding the way to fulfill the need that works for you when fulfilling the need in a quote-unquote expected or predictable or, neurotypical way is not going to work for you is excellent. Please allow me to explain. Sometimes people's bodies just don't fully process all the vitamins and everything that they need, whether it's from food or from being in the out or whatever. That actually kind of worked. I kind of like it. Maybe. I think I like it. I don't know that I like that I did that. But I wanted to make sure and separate the words, but now I feel like I've separated them too much. Maybe it should have just been the one beat in the beginning that I had in the beginning. This is a jump ring. Ow! Wow, that was pokey. I did not like that life choice that I just made. So we need vitamin D, right? Very important. But maybe somebody's got something going on where they don't they've got some vitamin D regulation struggles. I don't know if that's a thing. I have ADHD, so I have dopamine regulation struggles. So it is. Oh, that went to here. That's okay. Come back. Wait there. Oh, that's annoying. Maybe I'll be able to find it. Oh, the struggles. Can she find the jump ring that she just dropped in here that was all crookedy? We don't know. We don't know. That is, by the way, from... if you want to be the jump ring for that necklace, my guy, you can. I'm just kind of trying to find the original one, which if I can't find, I'm not going to worry about it too much. That little I don't know thing that I do comes from, maybe what if I dump them all in here? And then... Oh, did I find it? Nope. I had such a dream. Okay, hold on. I'm going to finish this thing about vitamin D. We need vitamin D. But what if our body has a struggle with processing sunshine, vitamin D as coming from the sun, which is where, that's the natural source of vitamin D. Well, you might need to take a vitamin D supplement to get enough of it, right? Meanwhile, there's also some of us who can't always get outside that much, right? And so in that case, taking a vitamin D supplement because, you can't get outside that much. Also a great idea. Excuse me. What if you live in, what's it called? The Pacific Northwest in the United States, or in England, or in Canada, or wherever there may be where there's not a ton of sunlight going on. Those are the geographical spots at the moment that are coming to mind. I can't really think of other ones that are super well known for not having a lot of sunshine all year round. So, you live in one of those spots. Oh, I think I found it. Did I find it? I think I found it. I did! Okay, little friend, are you fine being the one back with the necklace, and you're fine being a different thing some other point? Okay. No, I do not personify inanimate things and stress myself out as a result. What if that one little guy wanted to be the one on this necklace, and the one that went off to have a new adventure is now sad because it was pulled away from all his new... the one. Well, I'll have to end this audio. Or maybe I'll finally figure out how to edit, or maybe I just won't air this one at all. Wings to fly, when will you stop using your own name? Anyway, maybe this audio was just one of the ones to delete for me, like, puttering around. If it's not, though, hello. I had to stop the other video because I used my real name instead of Wings to Fly. So yet again, we have a part 2 on the channel where I'm like, hi, I'm back, because I don't remember how to not say certain words that I don't want myself to say. But yeah, so, because I just kind of want to finish the thought about vitamin D, but maybe I should just do this in a whole other video. Like, there's no shame at all in figuring out a way to do the thing that works for you. You know? I struggle with eating sometimes. I've talked about that. Not always. Like, if it's something I want to eat, I have no trouble eating it. But there's a fair amount of the time where it's like, there's nothing I want to eat. I was like, I just don't want to take the time to do it. So I've figured out a way to approach that. I have those little fruit and nut protein Laura bars that are, like, at the moment working for me. We'll see how long that works until I get tired of them. But, you know, at the moment, they and, like, just having tea all day long. There's also, I like vitamin waters or whatever. Oh, I like the triple X flavor, the acai, blueberry, pomegranate. I think the point that so much of us can miss, especially if we're anywhere on the obsessive compulsive spectrum, whether or not, you know, we've got the full-on disorder going on. The point that we can miss is that as long as you're figuring out a way to do the thing that you need to be able to thrive in whatever way you can, as long as you're figuring out a way to do that, like, who cares? It's okay. It is okay to do things differently. It is okay to start slow. It is okay to start late. It is okay to, you know, need to find different ways of doing the things that you need to do. I think that's very important, and I think it's something that a lot of us in neurospicy land struggle with. Is not only are there all these things that we have to do that we're having a hard time doing. Sometimes we'll find a way to do them that's, like, manageable, but then we feel guilty for, quote, not doing it the right way. There are so many arenas of life where there is not particularly a right way to do it. Take nutrition. Like, this group of people will be like, oh, you should absolutely always eat this way. And then there's this group of people who's like, you should always eat this way, and whatever. And sometimes you'll find just completely oppositional points of view, and you'll find all these people that are like, this is the only way. And you'll find all these people that are like, this is the only way. And you're just there going, which is the way? And a fair amount of the time, gang, it's really annoying to admit, this looks like a little baby key, doesn't it? Or does it? It does to me. There is no right way that is universal. There are universal truths. Killing people is rude. Duh. Taking things from people without their consent, extremely rude. Killing being among that. You know, don't take someone's life, kind of thing. You know, don't take stuff without people's permission. It's very, very rude, and that's like the understatement of the century, of the millennium, let's say. That's, you know, huge understatement. Don't do that. That's the universal truth. But there's not a lot of those, you know, as far as finding what works for you and how to exist. I feel like that song is from something, and I can't think of what it is. This is fun. Maybe I'll just keep these as just fidget toys. Blah, 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 blah. A very, very painful trap that people can get stuck in is thinking that there's one right way to do anything for everyone. Again, there are very, very few universal truths as far as figuring out how to exist in these flesh Gundams on this planet that exists in a universe of entropy. There's so many things that it's just figure out what works for you and roll with it, you know? And so if you find a way or hear of a way to, for example, get vitamin D that does not involve going out into direct sunlight, hey, maybe you're a vampire. but maybe vampires still need vitamin D. Who knows? There's a lot of people on the planet who will be like, you're not going out in the sun and getting vitamin D that way, and so therefore that's unacceptable, and therefore you're unacceptable. And that is so, that is what is unacceptable. Figure out what works for you, and then just ignore the itchy bee bullies of life. Like, just ignore all that smoke. We don't need it, fam. Who got time for all this aggravation? If you find something that works for you to get what you need, roll with it. If taking vitamin D supplements helps you be and feel healthier, because sometimes we need things that don't just help us be healthier, but help us feel healthier. So if taking vitamin D supplements helps you be and feel healthier, then anybody saying, no, that's wrong, you should only get vitamin D from walking around in the sunshine, well, they're misguided and hidebound and close-minded, and we can ignore them because consider the source. And that's not an opinion that I would want to respect. Someone who thinks there's only one way of doing something when the multiple ways of doing it aren't hurting anybody. If nobody's being hurt, who gives a fetch? And by being hurt, I mean objectively being hurt. If nobody is being hurt according to like the universal truths and social contracts, if nobody's, if nothing being taken from anybody without their permission, kind of thing, just leave people alone. And there's so many people who want to just go off about that. Well, you're existing in my space, so I want you to roll with my. I want you to exist according to my aesthetic. Well, shut up. Because you know what? You're not existing according to my aesthetic. My aesthetic is people being kind. That's my preferred aesthetic. And if you're being unkind and you're existing in my space, then you need to change, because I don't accept the aesthetic of people not being nice. Like it just, when you reframe what people are saying and show it for the absolute garbage that it is. It's not garbage to want people to be kind, but it is garbage to be like, you know what? Purple hair is the only way. This is the way. Purple hair is my preferred aesthetic, and if you don't have purple hair, I don't want you to be within my sphere of existence or noticing or awareness. Really? Purple hair is awesome. Purple hair is gorgeous. But as anybody with purple hair, I'm sure, would be the first to tell you, well, not anybody, but most, anybody who's like reasonable purple hair, they'd be like, purple hair's not for everybody. Another one of my rambles. Fight social injustice, especially fight against being socialized into thinking that you're doing something wrong just because you figured out a way to do something good and positive for you that other people can't jive with. For me, lately, I've been able to be going out into the sun and getting vitamin D that way. I'm still taking my vitamin D supplements because I need more, and that's okay. And I think sometimes a lot of the stuff that I rant about on here is stuff that I kind of need help understanding, talking myself through, like, hey, wings to fly, it's all right if you march to a different drum, as long as you're not stepping on anybody else's feet on purpose, or like, hurting people's feet for life in the way that you're marching to a different drum. March to that different drum, dance to it, boogie, get your boogie on, get your groove on. There's a something, get your something on. Oh well, the cool kids say it, but I'm a little old lady of 34 years old. Loves my little goblins. Nope, that's rock on. Loves little goblins. Good luck. You've got this. You can find your own cheat codes. And no matter what other people say about the cheat codes that you find for your body that make existing in this flesh Gundam on this crazy planet in the universe of entropy work for you, other people can just shut up. They don't have to like the way that you pilot your flesh Gundam. Nope, they don't. Just do your best to pilot your flesh Gundam with self-compassion and kindness, and rock on.